The sound you just heard is the sound of your conditioning. For 12 years, you were trained. You thought you were being educated. You thought you were being prepared for life. But you were not. You were being calibrated. Look closely. The architecture is the same. The schedule is the same. The hierarchy is the same. Why do you feel anxious on Sunday nights? Why do you feel guilty when you aren't productive? Why do you wait for permission to speak, to eat, and even to use the bathroom? Because you are running a software that was installed in your brain when you were 5 years old. A software designed to keep you poor, obedient, and dependent. Today, we are going to dismantle the lie. We are going to expose why the modern school system is the greatest financial trap ever created. And if you watch until the end, we are going to uninstall the programming. Welcome to the Sovereign Protocol. Class is in session. To understand why you feel trapped in a financial hamster wheel, you have to look past the glossy brochures and understand where your school comes from. It wasn't designed by visionaries like Steve Jobs to unleash a generation of innovators. It wasn't crafted by philosophers in ivy-covered halls to cultivate deep, independent thinkers. The blueprint is far older, and its purpose far more pragmatic. It was designed in the 18th century, in Prussia, by a state that wanted one thing above all else: soldiers. Obedient, unquestioning soldiers who would follow orders without hesitation, marching into cannon fire when the bell rang. The system was a tool for mass mobilization, built on a foundation of discipline and deference to authority. Before this, education was a local affair, often tied to a trade or the church. It was organic. But as the Industrial Revolution began, the new titans of industry faced a problem. Farmers are hard to manage. They work with the sun and the seasons. They are self-reliant. They are independent. Factories, however, need synchronization. They need a workforce that arrives on time, leaves on time, and performs repetitive tasks without question. They need humans who act like cogs in a machine. So they looked to Prussia and imported its model to the West. The General Education Board, funded by industrialists like John D. Rockefeller, didn't hide their agenda. They stated it plainly. I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. Their goal was not enlightenment, but employment. Not to elevate minds, but to fill factories. And they succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. They built a system that rewards conformity and punishes originality. An A student is not necessarily a genius. An A student is simply the one who is most compliant, the one who can repeat the manual back to the supervisor with the fewest errors, perfectly prepared for a life of following instructions. So let's dissect the mechanism of control. How exactly did the system break your spirit and mold you into a compliant cog? It wasn't through overt force, but through subtle, daily conditioning. It starts with something as simple, as ubiquitous as the bell. Pavlov famously proved you can condition a dog to salivate at the sound of a bell. School uses the same principle, but with a more insidious goal. It conditions you to at the sound of a bell. You are in the middle of a math problem, deep in a state of flow. Ring. Stop. Move to history. You're captivated by a historical event. Ring. Stop. Move to English. This constant interruption annihilates your ability to focus deeply. It shatters your natural curiosity and trains you to ignore your own internal rhythm, forcing you to submit to the external clock. It prepares you for the fragmented, shallow work of the modern office. Then, there is the insidious lesson of permission. Teacher, may I use the bathroom? Think about how profoundly insane this is. You are taught from a young age that you do not even own your own biological functions. You must ask an authority figure for the right to attend to your most basic needs. This dependency is drilled into you for over a decade. Is it any wonder that 20 years later, you are terrified to ask for a raise? Terrified to start a business? Terrified to trust your own judgment and step out of line? You spent 12 formative years internalizing the lesson that your time, your body, and your thoughts are not your own. You learned that autonomy is rebellion, and rebellion is always punished. But the most dangerous weapon in their arsenal isn't the curriculum. It's the grading system, a simple tool designed to sort and rank, but its side effects are devastating. It subtly rewires your brain to stop seeking truth and start seeking approval from authority. In school, there is one right answer, a single, pre-approved solution locked away in the back of the teacher's book. Your job isn't to solve the problem, it's to guess what the teacher is thinking. If you find a new way, you fail. If you collaborate with your neighbor, it's called cheating. Yet, in the real world of money and innovation, collaboration is called building a team. Here, there is never one right answer. There are a million ways to solve a problem. But you are paralyzed by the ghost of the classroom, waiting for the teacher to tell you what to do, to give you permission to act. This fear is rooted in how school treats failure. It teaches you that failure is final. An F is a permanent stain on your record, a mark of shame. This implants a deep biological fear of risk. But in capitalism, failure is not an ending. It is data. It is the cost of tuition for the real world. The entrepreneur fails 9 times, learns from each mistake, succeeds on the 10th, and becomes a millionaire. The A student, terrified of that first F, is too afraid to fail even once, so they never truly start. This is the great filter. It's why the valedictorians, the masters of the right answer, often end up as middle managers, executing someone else's vision. Meanwhile, the rebels, the dropouts, the ones who weren't afraid to be wrong, end up as the CEOs. The school system didn't prepare you for wealth. It filtered out the very risk-takers who create it. Robert Heinlein once said, "Specialization is for insects." The factory model demands that you become a cog. You fit in one specific slot. You are an accountant, you are a lawyer, you are a coder, you are dependent on the machine to function. And to become this cog, they convinced you to take on a mortgage before you even owned a house. Student loans. This is the final lock on the cage. Debt. If you are in debt, you cannot take risks. You cannot quit the job you hate. You cannot take 6 months off to build a company. You must feed the factory. You are not a student, you are a product. And the debt ensures you stay on the shelf, ready to be used. So, how do you break out? You cannot go back in time, but you can reprogram the machine. First, you must kill the part of you that waits for permission. Stop asking. Start doing. The market does not care about your degree. It cares about the value you provide. Second, embrace self-education. Real education starts the day you leave school. Learn sales, learn psychology, learn AI, learn money. These are the subjects they deliberately kept off the curriculum. Third, learn to fail. Go out and get rejected. Start a side hustle and watch it crash. Then laugh and do it again. Remove the fear of the F. The factory was designed to make you poor. It was designed to make you tired, but you are waking up.
They gave you a map to a dead end. Burn the map and forge your own path.
If you are ready to leave the assembly line, hit subscribe. Welcome to the resistance. The diploma is not the ticket out. Your mind is. If you are ready to graduate from the matrix, subscribe to the Sovereign Protocol. The class is dismissed.